Hey guys, it's Frankie here. In this video, we're going to be talking about the three single best proven ways to get jobs for your restoration company. We work with a lot of restoration companies. What we found is when you see like kind of successful people doing this over and over and over again, and some people like growing multiple crews across multiple states and building big teams and franchises and things like that, what you find is almost always there's one of these three strategies being employed. So I'm going to show you really quickly what they are. And the first one is networking with insurance adjusters and essentially like kind of schmoozing a little bit and getting in good with them so that whenever there's a new claim, like often people, the first person they call is their claims adjuster, and you want that person to be potentially recommending you. Now the second strategy is plumbers, and there's some cool people out there like Shane O'Dazier and some other ones who have some really good strategies on getting referrals from plumbers. And the thing about getting referrals from plumbers, it's a lot about just helping them with their own business and things like that. Because often what happens is the first person to know about the leak is often the plumber. And then what happens is, they don't actually repair all the damage and things like that. So if you have, a couple of good plumbing companies that are very busy and active themselves, that is the second best strategy. Is you essentially want to know all the plumbers within 50 miles of you. Now, the third is the internet, and I'm going to go the deepest on this because this is my area of expertise and what we do. So I'm going to show you guys how to win the internet game, and I'll tell you why I like the internet games, because you don't have to schmooze with anybody. You just have to be the best at what you do. And there's a couple of pillars. A lot of times people are looking for some like crazy advanced thing, and the truth is it's usually just like really solid execution of the basics. So the first basic that you should have is a good fucking website. And I'll tell you, I see this all the time. People send me a website and it's just a little single page and it says basically that we do water damage restoration or we do mitigation. And I'll tell you why you need a complete website. There's a couple of reasons. One is it's a twofold effect. One is for conversion, meaning like people pick up the phone and actually call you, and I'll tell you what converts the best in this is examples of your work. So I'm using this website because I think it's a good example of what to model. I don't have any affiliation with these guys, but I just like their website and specifically the content, and it's complete. That's what I want to show you guys is it has a list of their services. So if somebody searches a water emergency or a flooding basement, they have 1,000 different ways to find like somebody to find them, because each of these page is like standalone content. So if somebody searches, for example, smoke damage, they can be found for smoke damage. If somebody searches water extraction, they can be found for that, right? So you want to have like a complete list of all your services. You can also see examples of their work, their reviews, their before and after, their case studies, their videos, their testimonials. This is the stuff that sells your stuff and converts better than anything else. Is seeing is believing. I can see the work you've done, right? Especially, in their case, they've got reviews, they've got videos. Like what we would call these in the marketing world are proof elements. Is no shortage of proof elements that they are who they say they are. There's also a bit about us, because people, they want to know they're working with a real group of people. They want to see the team. They've got a page for job opportunities and things like that. But the second most clicked page on your website is about us, seeing that we got a real team in the areas we cover. These guys are near Chicago. And all of that. And then of course, they make contacting us easy. That's another thing. It's like you want your phone number on every single page to be easy to find. Now, I'm not saying this is a perfect website, but you'll notice like schedule estimate, like they constantly have ways to contact them. And there's lots of proof elements, before and after, reviews, proof, and lots of pictures that sell the proof. So I'm not saying this is a perfect website, but I think this is a good example of what you want to model. So you need a good website because that's where you're going to be sending people to. And if that doesn't convert, you also need actually to match that, a good Google My Business. Now, the second pillar that you're gonna need if you're gonna win the internet game is reviews. And I decided to show you guys an extreme example of this. This is a ServPro franchise in North Atlanta. They have almost 500 reviews, and I can tell you, for having done this for quite a few businesses, is what ends up happening is people say this magic phrase: we called you because of your Google reviews, and they are pre-sold and predetermined to do business with you specifically because the reviews convince them. So that's the magic of reviews, is it helps you rank higher, but more importantly, it helps you convert higher, because nothing you say is going to be as believable as what people are saying about you on the internet. So you want to control this. There's a couple of tools you can use. House Call Pro, So Tell Us. And they're just tools, they're software, so that whenever you do a job, it follows up with people and asks them to leave you a review. And if it's a bad review, it'll keep it internal. If it's a good review, it'll post it live on the internet, which is what you want, is to have an abundance of like the people saying awesome shit about you. That's essentially what you want. Um, the next piece, by the way, is you're going to need traffic. And there's basically 3 ways to generate traffic on the internet for our kind of business. And you want to have at least 2 of them. And ideally, if you want to be dominant on the internet, you want to have all 3. So thing number 1 is right here. You see these sponsored listings. These are Google My Business. And a lot of these are actually, to be honest, are weak ads. So this one says leaking roof water damage. So I guess if they're getting leaking roofs, like that, like, they're calling out who they want, but it's kind of a weak ad, to be honest. This one just says water damage restoration. Like, it doesn't give me an extra reason to click it. And this one says inexpensive. I would never recommend in any business model anywhere that you position yourself as the cheapest, like as the Walmart solution. So actually, all of these are kind of weak ads. Let's scroll to the bottom and see if we see anything better. I guess there's no more ads at the bottom. But if you write some good ads and drive people, like pay-per-click, although it can be expensive, like it almost works immediately. Like usually when we run pay-per-click campaigns for clients, they're kind of amazed that they start getting like new leads the first 48, kind of 72 hours. And as long as you can handle those phone calls and respond quickly, they'll convert to actual jobs for you. Second piece of that is obviously the SEO. And this is the sweet spot you want to be right here. We call these the GMB in internet speak, which stands for Google My Business. And it's the top 3 map pack. And when you're in here, this is a whole separate thing, like a separate, obviously from your website. But a lot of people, especially on mobile, will call you right from this listing. So they'll click on it. Obviously, I'm not on mobile right now, but they'll click on this. They'll scroll down. They'll read some reviews, and then they'll call you just right from that. So like they can see all your reviews, especially the reviews, by the way, when they leave pictures. So this one says 1 star, so slow. Blah, blah, blah. But the ones when they say like, this is what they did for my house, I guess they have none of those kind of examples, but usually you'll see one that kind of left pictures of their work. Those are the best ones when they're detailed about what they actually did. And you guys can plant these on purpose. You can ask your happy, like, past people to leave you good reviews. So that is the second way, is driving it through good old fashioned search engine optimization. The last piece not enough people think about is actually creating content, and content is what feeds the search engine. And so when you think about this one, these people are actually creating content by just having a different page. So they have a content piece for water emergencies. They have a content piece for flooding basements. They have a content piece for drying and dehumidification. They have a content piece for frozen and burst pipes. They have a content piece for water extraction. Cool thing about content is since the introduction of AI, this got so much easier. So let's just I'm going to show you how easy this is from our point of view to get this started. Please help me write a 500-word SEO optimized article about let's pick let's actually do one of these. We'll click one of their specific services. Frozen and burst pipes. Whoops, clicked on the wrong spot. Frozen and burst pipes in Chicago, Illinois. IL for short. And just for fun, I'm gonna do this. Please use humor and American slang. You don't always have to use this, but I like it. Here you go. It's already writing us a piece that we can do. So like if you got a blog post or service pages or content pages, we could put this up there right then, and then somebody who searches for burst pipes in Chicago will find this piece of content. And again, if you add in those other elements, the proof elements we talked about, where it's got reviews, it's got pictures of your work, what ends up happening is people pick up the phone and call you. So I always say, like, if you think about like a brand new city, I actually went to Peru, and there's a little city in there. Apparently it's the largest city in the world that has no incoming roads. So people paddle up the Amazon River. You can fly in there, but you can't like drive into it. It's actually kind of amazing. It's like 500,000 people. You can't drive into it. So I want you to think about that. Like if you had that city, like think of your business like that city. You want to create inroads, and content are like inroads. And it's not like one magic super highway that you want to do this. It's more like we want 250 back roads. And so you want to own all the little things people are looking for to find you: storm damage, mold remediation, fire damage, whatever it is you do, burst pipes and all of those things. And if you make content a game where you're constantly putting out new content, you cannot lose the internet game. Like, it's the most proven long-term strategy, and it feeds Google what they want. So those three things, if you're going to dominate the internet, you need some combination of traffic from either SEO, pay-per-click, or content, which feeds into SEO, but is kind of like, a little bit of a separate game. And if you do those three things, what you're going to find is you're going to get jobs consistently, and it'll supplement everything you do with your claims adjusters and your plumbing. And if you do those like actual three things, if you focus either on one of these things or all three of these things or some combination of them, what you're going to find is you're going to get jobs consistently in your restoration business. And if you guys are interested in potentially getting our help on this, our business called getfloodjobs.com. And unlike a lot of other places, you can actually like see our pricing is like right up front on our site. You can see examples of our work designed so like, you can shop us and do your due diligence without having to talk to anybody. But if you guys are interested in that, you can go to getfloodjobs.com, find more about us, and make sure to subscribe, because I'm going to be putting out more cool stuff like this. So appreciate you guys watching. Now I'm going to close this video if I can figure out how to turn it off. There we go.